What's going on, everybody? It's me again, Golden Blue Dude. And hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I do college football videos every single day and sometimes college basketball videos. Check out my Patreon page. We have a wider selection over there. And don't forget about our PayPal contest. At the end of this month, the person with the highest PayPal donation wins a 42-inch Roku Smart TV worth $300. And today I wanted to talk about, well, the top 25 most valuable football programs in the nation. I'm not talking about talent-wise. I'm talking about money-wise. The football programs that make the most money every stinking year. And what they have to show for it. Some of these teams that are in the top 25 as far as being the most valuable making money don't have much to show for it. Some have nothing to show for it. Coming in at number 25 is going to be Clemson. Yes, they are in the top 25, barely, but they're there. They bring in a whopping $77 million a year. Their last national championship, 2018, not that long ago, and a total of 3 national championships. So I think that their value equals their success. They've had some pretty good success, but not like overwhelming success. I do think Dabo Swinney is building something at Clemson. I would say even in value, because before Dabo got there, Clemson was only bringing in about $23 million. So Clemson could actually climb in these rankings. Coming in at number 24, that's going to be Ole Miss. They bring in $84 million a year. Their last title, 1962. But they do have 3 titles altogether. But that's a really long time since your last national championship. That's 60 years. 60 years. You're in the top 25 most valuable football programs in the nation. And it's been 60 years. How about a new hashtag, 1962 for Ole Miss? Number 23, Wisconsin. They make $86 million a year. I honestly did not know that. That's impressive. I thought Wisconsin would be maybe in the 30s or 40s. No, they're top 25. Last title, 1942. And that was their only title. They only have 1 title. So let me get this straight. You're in the top 25 as far as most valuable football programs in the nation. And it's been 80 years for you. Come on, Wisconsin. You can do better than that. Stop just settling. You can have the cream of the crop when it comes to coaches. I'm not saying that you're a terrible program. I'm just saying you're capable of so much more. Coming in at number 22, Michigan State. They bring in $87 million a year. Last title, 1966. Not quite as bad as 1942, but that's still a long time ago. They have 6 national championships in football. Yeah, Michigan State used to be a beast in the early days of football. Not so much anymore. Number 21, Iowa. Huh? Yeah, Iowa. $89 million a year. Last title, 1958. Been a while for them as well. And that's their only national championship. So they're barely outside the top 20 as far as most valuable football programs, and they only have 1 title. And it's been over 60 years for them as well. Yikes. Number 20 on this list. Now we're in the top 20. Nebraska, $91 million a year. Not surprised about that. Nebraska is a moneymaker, and their fan base is super loyal. Longest streak of consecutive sellouts, and they can't count COVID. Last title, 1997. Okay, that's not ancient history, but that's still about 25 years ago. I mean, come on, Nebraska. You do have 5 national championships, so that's respectable. But you make enough money. Scott Frost, get it together. Nebraska makes too much money for you to go 3-9. Number 19. This one shocked me. Washington. They make a whopping $92 million a year. Their last title, 1991. Not ancient history. I remember that title, actually. They have 2 national championships altogether. I still think that's underperforming. I mean, especially when you compare it to like a Clemson. I know they only have 1 more title, but they definitely have more recent titles than you. Washington, you can do better, and I know you're capable of being a powerhouse in the Pac-12. Number 18. I actually thought this team would be higher, and that's USC. They bring in $93 million a year. Last title, 2004. So, recent college football history, they have 11 titles altogether, but it's been a while. It's been a while. I'm not going to knock you too much because you've had tremendous success in college football. It hasn't been all that long, but you're due for a title, especially making $93 million a year. And I think Lincoln Riley is the man that can do it. Number 17. Shocked again. Arkansas. $95 million a year. Arkansas. Last title, 1964. Their only title. Arkansas. What are you doing with your money? You should have top-notch coaching staffs year after year. I think Sam Pittman's doing a good job. Maybe he'll bring a title back to Arkansas. We'll see. Number 16. This one absolutely blew my mind. South Carolina. Are you kidding me? They also bring in $95 million a year, but they have no titles. Never, ever. They've never won the SEC. They've never won a national championship. Oh, they did win the ACC back when they helped found the ACC. I think it was like 1965, 66, whatever. And then West Virginia waxed your rear end in the Peach Bowl. My gosh, what are you doing? What are you doing? $95 million a year, almost top 15 as far as most valuable football programs, and you've done absolutely nothing. One of the worst overall historically college football programs there has ever been. That makes no sense. That blew my mind, not gonna lie. Two teams at number 15, and that's gonna be Florida State and Oregon. They both bring in $96 million. Now first, Florida State. Last national championship, 2013. That's recent history. We can all remember that. And they have 3 national championships altogether. 2 under Bobby Bowden, 1 under Jimbo Fisher. They have to update their facilities. I've heard some terrible stories about their facilities. Update. You make the money. You're capable of dominating the ACC. I mean, you did it for over a decade in the 90s. Get back to that. What you're doing right now makes no sense, especially bringing in $96 million a year. Now on over to Oregon. They don't have any national championships. Oh my gosh, Oregon, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You have one of the better brands in the nation, top 15 as far as most valuable football programs in the nation, and you have no titles to show for it. Yes, you came close. You came really close. Well, you got to the national championship and you got blown out by Ohio State. You have to do better than that. Number 13 on this list, Penn State, $104 million a year. The first team that brings in over $100 million a year, and that's going to be Penn State. Last title, 1986. They only have 2. They were both in the 80s. It's been a while. I wouldn't say that's ancient history, but it's definitely not recent history. I know. You're in the Big Ten East. It's tough. You make a crap load of money. Get it done. Number 12, Tennessee, $113 million a year. Last title, 1998. Yes, I remember that. The year right after Peyton Manning left. That was crazy. I thought he would win a national championship at Tennessee. Nope. But directly the year after, a national championship for Tennessee. I feel bad for you on that one, Peyton. 6 titles altogether, so they've had some decent success. It's been a little while, but that's still respectable. But they are overdue. Number 11 on this list, LSU, $114 million a year. Last title, we all remember it. 2019, Joe Burrow, he's playing for a Super Bowl now. They fired Ed Orgeron, bring in Brian Kelly. I think LSU will win another national championship here real soon. They have a total of 4 national championships. They will make it 5 here in a few years. Number 10 on this list, Auburn. They are in trouble right now. Well, actually they're not. They're keeping Brian Harsin. But they've shown they don't care about buyouts. And now we know why. They're top 10 in most valuable football programs in the nation. Last title, 2010, Cam Newton. 5 titles altogether. That's respectable, Auburn. I'm okay with that. But you need to get it together now. Tied with them at number 10 is going to be Florida. $117 million a year also. Last title, 2008. So 2 years before Auburn. They have 3 national championships. Florida should have more than 3. That's a little shocking. But 3, not ancient history. Still respectable, but they are still overdue. Number 8 on this list, Notre Dame, $120 million a year. Last title, 1988, when they beat my West Virginia Mountaineers. Yes, I was a small tyke, but I remember it. They do have 11 national championships altogether. So historically, one of the all-time great football programs. Recently, not so much. They are way overdue, and they make a truckload of money. And they just lost their head coach. I don't know what's going on at South Bend, but they have not gotten it together, so I don't know what else to say. Number 7 on this list, Georgia, $125 million a year. Last title, well, 2021. The 40-year drought over. Done. No more hashtag 1980. Altogether, they actually have 3 national championships. The forgotten 1942 national championship. All they remembered before 2021 was 1980. This is respectable, and you just won a national championship. But you do need to add more trophies to the trophy case. You make way too much money not to. Number 6 on this list, Oklahoma. $129 million a year, last title, 2000. Turn of the century. No, that's not ancient history, but it's teetering on recent history. Oklahoma fans are getting restless. 7 national championships altogether, so historically, great success. Recently, not so much, and they're headed to the SEC. I'm not sure that that's going to bring you success. Might bring you more money, but I'm not sure about success, because you're going to have to head into Saban country. Now we're in the top 5. Number 5, Ohio State, the Buckeyes, $132 million a year. These numbers are getting ridiculous, by the way. Last national championship, 2014. That's recent. A total of 8 national championships. That's pretty good. This is respectable. For the amount of money that you make, recent enough title, and the amount of titles, this makes sense. But Buckeye fans are really foaming at the mouth for another national championship. Number 4 on this list, Alabama. Yeah, they're not number 1. They do bring in $134 million a year, which is a lot. Last national championship, 2 years ago, 2020, a total of 18 national championships, the most of any college football program ever. So they're actually overachieving. They are not number 1 in most valuable football program right now, and yet they are number 1 in total national championships in only 2 years since their last national championship. Well done, Alabama. Well done, Nick Saban. Number 3 on this list, all you longtime subscribers, this is what you've been waiting on. Michigan, $139 million a year. That is a truckload of money. Their last national championship, 1997. They do have 11, so historically they're great, but it's been over 20 years since your last national championship. Yes, you got to the playoffs, but you got blasted out of the playoffs by Georgia, and you make more money than Georgia by a little bit of a margin. So Michigan, you have no excuses. You're falling behind. Jim Harbaugh, get it together. Bring a national championship to Ann Arbor. There's no excuses. Number 2 on this list, Texas A&M, the Aggies, $147 million a year. That's insane. Last title, 1939, 3 national championships. So it's been almost 100 years. I know we're still about 15 years outside of that, but we're closer to 100 than 50. So yeah, I can say close to 100 years since your last national championship. This is insane. And last year you went 8-4. I know you had one of the all-time greatest recruiting classes this past year, but you have one of the all-time greatest boneheaded coaches in Jimbo Fisher. So good luck with that. And of course, number 1 on this list, Texas. I don't know what the tiebreaker is, because they make $147 million a year as well, but they're listed at number 1. Last national championship, 2005. They have 4 altogether. Texas, you are completely underachieving. 4 national championships compared to Alabama's 18, Michigan's 11, Ohio State's 8, Oklahoma's 7, Notre Dame's 11, Tennessee's 6, USC's 11. I mean, come on, give me a break. You can do better than this. You have the Longhorn Network. You're in Texas. You can recruit the state of Texas, and you wouldn't have to recruit out of any other stinking state if you pulled in every stinking top talent in the state of Texas. You have no excuse, and that's why everybody goes ape on you with the horns down, because of statistics like this. You should be winning a national championship at least once a decade. Probably more than that, but at least once a decade, and you're not doing it. What are you doing with that money? Anyways, y'all let me know who you think is underachieving and who you think is overachieving. I look forward to my comments on this one. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.